In the last class, we have discussed about DDL commands, SQL introduction and DDL commands. Now we are going to see the remaining commands DML, DCL, ECL and DQL. First we'll see the DML. DML is a data manipulation language. Okay, it is going to modify the database. Using this command, we can modify the database. DDL means using that we can modify the structure of the database. This is to modifying the data present in the database. Okay, it is responsible for all form of changes in the database. Okay, so default using the DML is not auto committed, means we have to permanently save the data into the database. They can be rolled back. That rollback means undo is possible. Okay, there are 3 DML commands: insert, delete and update. So we know that insert command means inserting new tuple into the relation, new row into the relation. So for that, what is the command used? Means insert into table name. Insert into a keyword, the table name, what table we want to insert, what are the columns we want to make, attribute, column 1, column 2, etc. What value we want to insert, values, then end with semicolon. For example, insert into the table name values. This is one way. Another way, directly we can give the values. I given that example is insert into course table. I want to insert the values for author and subject. So values, author I have given it as a Sonu and subject I have given it as a DBMS. This is one way. Another way, directly you can give insert into course values. We can give the values Sonu and DBMS. That is also possible. And then update. Insert is already we did. Suppose for example the new student or new faculty is joining to our college, we are going to insert their details. And next is update, means it is used to modify the value present in, of a column in the relation, in the table or relation. Suppose for example one particular student address is changed or phone number is changed, that should be modified in the database. Then only up to date information will be there in the database. So for that the update command is used. Update table name. This update is a keyword. The table name, which table you want to update, that you should give. Set is a keyword. Which column we are going to change it, that we have to give. Where the condition, with primary key we should give the condition. For example, I want to set username as, we want to change the username. So update students, set username equal to Sonu. Okay, where student ID equal to 3. With primary key only we can tell. Otherwise foreign key also we can, other keys or attributes also we can use. But multiple places the value will be updated. Okay, it is the next is delete. It is used to remove one or more row from a table. Okay, it is used to delete. Suppose one particular student left the college or faculty left the college, that information will be removed from the database. Okay, so for that we can give the command as delete from table name where condition. Delete from is a keyword. Table name, what table we want to delete, that we can give, for example students. And where, what is the condition, author equal to Sonu. So the corresponding tuple will be deleted. Okay, so already we have seen drop, truncate and delete. All are related to removing the content. Okay, what is the difference between these 3 means? Using drop command, if you are going to use drop command, means entire table will be removed. That means structure as well as data present in the table will be removed. If you are going for a truncate operation, it will remove only the data present in the table, rows only deleted, not the structure. If you will go for delete also, only the rows are deleted, not the structure. What is the major difference between truncate and delete? Means truncate, once you will remove the data, we can't get back the data using rollback command. But if you delete operation, using that you are deleting the rows, means we can get back the data using rollback command. This is the major difference between drop, delete and truncate. Next we will see the data control language. So DCL commands are used to grant and take back authority from any database users. So each database user, they are going to provide different authorization. For example, if we will take in the employee or EduMat database itself, The students are having only rights to view the database. Students are users, for them the rights given as only view the database. But as a faculties, they are given the rights to edit and view the database. Both the options are there for us. Edit, update, all options are insert, update, both the options are there for faculties. Okay, so like that the different users, different permissions are granted. After some time that may be returned back, authority taken back also. For example, for faculties during internal, after internal, the 3 days the rights should be given to enter the internal marks. Within the 3 days they can enter the marks, as well as if any modification they want to do. Suppose some students ask some correction, again the change the mark, that updation faculty can do it. But after 3 days, that permission should be returned back. Only the view permission should be given for the faculty. Even faculty also can't modify the data present in the marks stored in the data EduMat. Okay, like that. The permission will be grant or that will be taken back. So for that the command is grant, select, which operation, update on my table to some user, another user. Okay, different users. So this is the grant command. Revoke means for take back the permission. Revoke, select, update, the two operations I am taking back from the table. My table is the table name, and from who are the users, user 1 and user 2. Okay, this is the example for data control language. The fourth one is transaction control language. How to control the transaction. So TCL commands can only use with, it is used along with the DML commands like insert, delete and update. How means these operations are automatically committed in the database. That's why they cannot be used while creating tables or dropping table. In DBMS, after performing each operation automatically it will be committed. Suppose it is there, we can give to save commit, we can give. Suppose we want to do some undo operation, we can give the rollback command. And within the undo also, rollback also we want to do within some limit, means we can set a save point. Okay, these are all the commands used for controlling the transaction. Then commit, the syntax is commit only. After delete command we are giving commit, so that will be saved. Then rollback, delete from customer where age equal to 25. Rollback means only this should be rollback, undo. This row is not removed. Then save point means we are going to set the point from where we can perform the undo operation. So that's all about transaction control language. The last language is SQL language is data query language. From the name itself it is there. Using that only we can fetch the data from the database. Till now we made all structure related operations, data manipulation operations. Now only the main thing is involved, fetching the data from the database. For that we need this data query language called select. Okay, so this is the same as the projection operation. What is the function of projection operation in relational algebra means? It is used to select the tuples from the relations, projection. Okay, with the conditions we will give. With some condition, a tuple or that will retrieve the attributes. Okay, so same, then select operation is used to retrieve the entire all the tuples. So that will be used here. So the condition is select, express, that is select the table name. Okay, then from select what we want to select. That is attribute names we can give here. From which table, what is the condition. Okay, for example, we want to select the name of the employees from employee table whose age is greater than 20. So select emp name from which table, employee table, where age is greater than 20. We can give like this. Okay, the select command. And then next we will see the data types in SQL. Before that, so you know that numeric data types, integer, int, integer, real, float, numbers should be used. Depends on the language, database management system, it is going to vary. Okay, Oracle, there are data types will be different. The different in the sense, in some place we'll use number to represent number in the numerical data. In some place we'll use int, float, differentiation. So that depends on the language, it is going to vary. Okay. Then character data types are character and varchar. Character means fixed length characters, character string. Varchar means variable length character string. Okay, suppose for example USN is 10 characters fixed, we can use character. Suppose we'll take name, it is not fixed, so we can go for a varchar. And bit rate strings data types bit n, bit varying n.